1. What would you do if you saw someone stealing a book in a shop?
If I saw someone stealing a book in a shop, I'd probably tell the shop assistant.
2. What would you do if your teacher didn't come to your class?
If my teacher didn't come to my class, I'd probably do my homework. Then I'd have less homework to do after school.
3. What would you do if you were in a bathroom and couldn't open the door?
If I couldn't open the bathroom door, I'd send a text message to my parents.
4. What would you do if you accidentally broke a window in your parents' house?
If I broke a window in my parents' house, I'd run away and hide.
5. What would you do if you were at a cafe and your food was cold?
If my food was cold, I'd complain to the waiter.
6. What would you do if you found a wallet in the street?
If I found a wallet in the street, I'd look for a name or address inside it.
How would you feel if you were in the sea and you suddenly realised there was a shark in the water?
I'd be really scared. I like the jacket best, but the t-shirt would probably be more useful.
If I were you, I'd get the jacket.
How would life be different if it was daylight 24 hours a day?
If it never got dark, we'd never see the stars. If you could eat something from there, what would it be?
I'd probably choose the prawns.
How would you feel if a stranger took your photo in the street?
I think I'd be really angry. If you found a lot of money in a shop, would you keep it?
No, I'd never do that.